fine.
I also got a little bit of hot gossip from producer Ian, editor Ian earlier today. He said, and only Iggy and Austin were there late night. Actually, you left early too. I forget. It was only me and Austin. But Niko started to act more and more erratic. He was turning the camera on randomly and like accosting me. I would just be sitting there talking to a girl. Because I'm a fucking pimp. And Niko would roll up with the camera and be like, Danny, do you want me to film right now? I'd be like, easy, buddy, easy, buddy. And I could see that his eyes were sort of out of focus. Ian says there's a clip where Niko is down in the alley with the camera filming himself slurring into it. And then he points the camera down and there's urine dripping down his leg.
What the fuck?
Whoa, dude. Did he drink that 100 proof fucking little... What was that? Let me
No, he wasn't drinking any of mine.
All right, did you buy him that? Did he ask you to buy him the 100 proof little bottle of alcohol?
I ended up taking it from him that night. I never left it because when we got back to the room, he was pretty hammered.
He didn't need it. So he never drank it.
He never drank it.
My fear is, do you think this man has a problem when he's just like, hey, Iggy, can you get me this little bottle of 100 proof alcohol? You know, it's like, I feel like he needs to know that he's going to be fucked up for sure at some point. You know, like there might not be enough alcohol, but this little thing will get me there.
Niko definitely has a bad alcohol gene in his family.
Yeah. I don't think he has a problem yet, though, do you?
For sure he does.
He does, definitely. He shows symptoms already.
You think he's an alcoholic?
Yeah.
You think he's a real alcoholic?
You actually don't?
I think he's like a heavy social drinker, but... Well, I guess the Dante Culpepper thing would prove that he might have a problem.
Well, I consider myself a pothead, smoke every day, but I won't smoke before work. If I'm correct, he's asked you for money, both of you before to buy beers while he edits. Doesn't that make the edits a little sloppy?
He asked, one time he was coming over to my house and he was like, you don't have to pay me for this week's edit if you give me some alcohol. And I said, sure, but it was, And he always asks Mitch for a drink. He makes Mitch make him a drink at our house. Like, hey, you got anything?
There have been times when I had really bad symptoms of being an alcoholic. Every time I drank, I would drink to blackout. I would fight people. I would wake up in jail cells the next morning. That only happened once, actually. But then the next weekend, I'd be out again doing it all over. I realized I had a problem and I backed off a little bit. And you can see in that Edward Forty Hands during coronavirus video, I'm engaging in a lot of really fucking dangerous alcoholic-like behavior. Niko's the same way. Niko has devastating consequences on his everyday life that come from being an alcoholic or come from drinking, and he doesn't have the ability to stop. An example is he was so blacked out the night before one of our shoots that he called up his girlfriend and was being so out of control that she seemed like she was going to break up with him. She wouldn't talk to him the next day. When we went to Vegas for my birthday, he couldn't interact in a social setting without blacking out and getting thrown out of the club within like 30 minutes. And he can't stop is the problem.
Yeah. I think I think it's good for him to come out with us, though, because I feel like having friends that he can talk about it with and call him out will help him if it ever escalates to a point where it's really affecting his health and, I don't know, like really negatively. I think he still gets things done and such, but alcoholics can. I get it's not the drug that'll make you like.
But you're definitely an alcoholic if you're being able to function on a regular basis while you're on the drug.
Yeah, that's true. I guess they get used to it. Yeah, there are functioning alcoholics. There's a lot of functioning alcoholics.
And he can shoot like a motherfucker the night after he drinks, or the day after he drinks.
He can definitely shoot like a motherfucker, and he shot really. I feel like he was really brave in that fucking brawl. That was some good shit. I bet he was right in there, man. Nobody fucking slugged him.
He did a good job. Yeah, I've said this to Niko's face. This is really echoey in here, huh? Is there anything we can do? Austin, what if you kill your mic until you talk? That's better right there. Yeah.
That's better, yeah.
It was distracting.
Yeah. So why not sound
I've told Niko, though, like, it's clear his mom drinks every night. And that's how it goes. It's hereditary.
Yeah.
And they say it's defined by consequences. And if your consequences keep escalating and you can't stop, that's the definition of the disease of alcoholism. And I feel like Niko has a lot of consequences in his life and he keeps drinking.
I had a therapist, not that I've never been to a therapist, although I need to be, but it was just a therapist that I met somewhere. And they told me that to really be categorized as an alcoholic, you need to be waking up in the morning and like downing vodka because you start shaking without alcohol in your system. So, they don't, you could have a problem. It could be affecting your life. But I guess like that's why I was saying that he didn't have a problem or whatever. But I see you're saying like he definitely improved his life. But that's where I was.
Dr. Drew defines it as when there are escalating consequences from the drug or the substance, and you're unable to stop.
That's a better. So
Niko gets in fights with his girlfriend. He gets kicked out of clubs. We'll see if he urinated himself on Saturday.
He did.
Yet he isn't able to stop. I mean, Iggy, you've shown some signs of alcoholism too. You've had some really bad experiences with booze that I've witnessed.
Oh yeah.
Do you have a problem? Do you have alcoholism in your family? Native American genes would suggest so, but I don't know if there's any direct problems.
No, I don't believe I have any problems in my family. My family doesn't even really drink.
Mm-hmm.
What do you remember one specific time that Danny might be thinking about right now?
Either when I threw up in the car or when I punched him in the face.
Yes.
Or the first Slap City, which thankfully made for great content. You were right there, just tiptoeing the fucking fence between sober Iggy and way too blacked out. I want to get this guy out of my vehicle, Iggy.
Do you remember punching Danny in the face?
No.
That was the most fucked up I've ever seen you.
Probably. I was like blacked out.
What do you remember from that night?
We got back to the house, and that's all I remember.
You remember that?
You didn't helicopter your cock in Niko's face? He claims you were one of the perpetrators.
You were helicoptering your cock in Niko's face.
I'm sure he enjoyed that, though.
You think so?
I'm sure.
Did you say, do you remember that or not?
No.
Oh, wow.
See, a night like that, Niko, that night too, it's pretty ironic because he was telling me, Iggy's out of control, man. This is bullshit. We got to get him out of here. He cannot handle his liquor. And then an hour and 45 minutes later, Niko gets thrown the fuck out of Hakkasan nightclub.
Yeah, he was holding Mitch's leg and sleeping on it.
But Iggy, you were a fucking, like, not even a human that night when you were drunk.
Yeah, I have no recollection.
You were bringing up business ideas, I guess, to everybody. Like, you were pitching shit to Nick Major TV about OnlyFans, probably involving your penis and his anus.
Probably.
And then, when I tried to tell you, because I was calling your girlfriend, and you said her and your brother or somebody were in town, and I was trying to get them to come pick you up, because we could not have taken you to the club. There's no way. And I also didn't trust you at the Airbnb. And when I tried to tell you that, and I tried to lead you gently outside... punch in the face.
You punched him in the fucking face, man, and you don't remember it. But
not at all.
But how did you guys repair your relationship? Because this is what I'm curious about.
We did a podcast about it. I've already talked about it a little bit.
Did you talk about it?
To refresh people's memory, though, I think he apologized, and I just forgave him.
You apologized?
Yeah, it wasn't like I was like mad or anything. I was pretty fucked up if I don't remember. So how could I really argue a point from my point of view? Like. Yeah. I just blacked out and punched him in the face. My bad.
If I got mad at people in the crew's actions after I put a bottle in their fucking hand and tell them to start chugging to make me some content, I'd be a real asshole. Mm-hmm. I encourage this stuff.
Besides the moment here, where do you think I can handle my alcohol pretty well?
Your alcohol? I'm trying to think of any instances where Leo's been out of control drunk. Definitely when you showed up here was the drunkest I've ever fucking seen you.
I was the drunkest. That's 11... tequila drinks?
Yeah, I gotta say you can handle your alcohol. Every time we've played 40 hands, you've been fine afterwards.
Yes.
The last time wasn't fair.
I'm large, yeah. I think it has a correlation to that for sure.